We're getting the cutting blades sharpened. Pa said to tell you we'll be in for dinner around 1. Merrill had already gone back to mucking the empty stall, but called over her shoulder, "I'll have a nice hot meal waiting for you." With 4 older brothers, Merrill had been responsible for the house and kitchen since their mother died some 10 years earlier. Even so, Merrill had plenty of other responsibilities that tended to rob her of the chance to show her feminine side. Folks spoke highly of Merrill's baked goods and cooking, but she was also highly regarded for being able to handle a team of draft horses better than most men. She knew horseflesh from the tip of their tails to their velvety muzzles, something her father took great pride in. He loved having his family at work all around him. The Belgians were her father's pride and joy. They were some of the best stock in the country, and with 3 good broodmares, he earned a nice bit of money on the side selling the offspring. Merrill spent a sizable portion of her time with the animals, especially during the winter months. Foaling was something she generally oversaw. She also made sure the geldings were in top-notch shape for the ice harvest and other work they did. Numbering more than 20, the animals definitely kept the family busy. Merrill was pushing a full wheelbarrow to the manure pile when she caught the sound of a team approaching. She shielded her eyes and saw it was Granny Lassiter's buggy. No doubt she and Cora Beth were coming for a visit. Frowning at her soiled and frumpy attire, Merrill knew there was no time to change. She hurriedly dumped the manure and returned the wheelbarrow to the barn. With one more quick check on Addie, Merrill felt all right about spending a few moments with her visitors. It was always nice to see Granny and Cora Beth. With no other women in her family, Merrill often longed for female companionship. She closed the barn door and hurried across the yard as Granny brought the team to a halt at the back of the house. Merrill took hold of the team and waited for Granny to set the brake. "You sure picked a cold day for a visit," Merrill quipped, and the 3 women chuckled. With the team secured, Merrill quickly helped Granny and Cora Beth from the buggy. Cora Beth was all petite delicacy and femininity, even in the cold of winter. Her maroon wool coat was stylishly trimmed in black velvet, and the matching bonnet had been carefully placed so as to do minimal damage to her nicely arranged hair. "We had to come see you," Cora Beth announced. "Granny made you a new hat." Merrill nodded her head and smiled. "Well, let's get inside and warm up. I've been mucking stalls and waiting for Addie to foal. I could use a cup of coffee." She led the way in through the back porch, pausing only long enough to cast aside her outer coat and knit cap. Her wild curly hair shot out around her shoulders. "Mercy, child, you should at least braid that mess." Granny sounded dismayed. "I usually do, and I will now. This morning I was in a bit of a hurry." She knew she sounded defensive, even though she didn't feel it. Life on the farm was different from living in town. Granny and Cora Beth were used to being ready to receive visitors or go out where they would be seen. Here, Merrill was far more likely to see her brothers and father than any other woman, so her appearance never concerned her that much. "I do wish you wouldn't wear those trousers," Granny continued. "You're never going to catch a husband looking like a young man." Merrill laughed and washed her hands in a basin of water. "I'm not trying to catch a husband, at least not today. Today I'm delivering a foal." She quickly dried her hands and pulled the coffee pot from the stove. "We've some coffee left over from breakfast." She took 3 mugs down from the cupboard and poured the coffee. After returning the pot to the stove, Merrill turned to find Granny and Cora Beth still standing. "Would you like to sit in the kitchen or in the front room?" "I prefer the kitchen myself, as I'm rather muddy, but I can always throw a sheet over a chair." "Nonsense," Granny declared. "We won't stand on ceremony. The kitchen is nice and warm, and we can have ourselves a good chat." "Do you have other visits to make before you head back to town?" Merrill asked, setting the coffee mugs on the table. She hurried to retrieve the cream and sugar, knowing her guests were fond of both. "We thought we might see a few families on the way, given that tomorrow is the 1st. We wanted to share."